Your life with me, Rev Lee. Today, I want to talk about how to speak responsibly. That's a big one. I get that all the time thrown at me because I'm in front of people all the time. I'm speaking all the time on social media. I'm speaking on YouTube. I'm speaking to people in person. I'm teaching classes. So, a lot of times when I speak, I seem to upset people. And so I've had to do a lot of work on this. And one of the things that I've come to understand is I'm not responsible for what someone else hears. Can you get that? I am not responsible for what someone else hears. I am responsible for what I say, the intent in which I say it, and how I say it. I think when you can break it down into that way, you understand that you're doing your best to speak in a moment. And you're being as authentic and real as you can. You're there for the purpose of communicating. You're not for the purpose of putting someone down. How do you speak responsibly? That's a great question. It would be interesting that, for example, I found that I was about 4 clips of my talks were in a video put out by a couple Christian ministers who were talking about toxic positivity, the origin and history of New Thought. And someone sent it to me and I put it in, and there I am 4 different times videoed speaking. And these individuals totally disagreed with what I said in that respect, talking about how New Thought is BS, basically. But I did write something back. I wrote back and I said, thank you for bringing me and my message to greater and greater numbers of people. And if you would like, I'd be happy to come on your podcast and share my views with you. And I said, but understand that when we talk, as you've said, know that the Bible is not my source. So we would have a logical discussion about where our views stand. I thought that was a good response because they chose to take my videos, a bunch of several other ministers as well, and use them, twist them, shape them. And I offered and said, thank you, because I'm getting exposure. All exposure to me is good exposure. And then I gave them the invitation. Now, how they heard that, I'm not responsible for. But I could sit down and have a very logical one-on-one conversation with them. They're not going to like it because what they're going to want to do is quote a Bible. And I just don't believe that that's my source. I think it's created by man, and it's been changed over and over and over again through the years. So it's not my source. My source is my own awareness. It's what I've tested, what I know for myself. That should be your source. What have you proven to yourself? What do you know? And then once you know something, you better test it again and again and again. Don't get locked in, because how you speak responsibly is also about how do you speak to yourself. And that's the person that we don't speak responsibly to. We tend to put ourselves down. Do you not get it? Don't you get it? Yesterday, how many times did you have thoughts that you were not enough, that you were not worthy? Who am I? I see you out there, Zoe, Dee, Wendy, Carol, McBride, Maggie, Johanna, and a bunch of others. How many times did you not speak kindly of yourself? So to speak responsibly, we really have to start with ourselves, because how we self-talk is how we talk with others. It comes back to that. Everything begins and ends with self-love. Everything. The deeper your self-love, the deeper you love others. The deeper you communicate authentically, really, and compassionately and kindly with yourself, you'll speak that same way to others. Life is a mirror. It's always mirroring back to us what we're speaking about ourselves. That's a hard one to grasp, isn't it? It's real easy to blame the devil. Yeah, the devil made me do it. No, the devil didn't make you do it. Your lack of awareness and your domestication into believing certain things made you do it. No one else. No one else. Devil, non-existent, doesn't exist. Yeah, Lori, it's hard. Need to remember the importance of the pause. Otherwise, we open mouth and insert foot. That's why one of the great things, tools to use in how to speak responsibly is to pause before you speak and ask the question, how would love respond to this? And what is love about? Love is all about expansion. Love is never about contraction. Never, 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 never. Contraction is judgment, and judgment and love don't mix. But you'll hear people say, well, God's a judging God. Well, what kind of God is that? What kind of God is it that judges? God is love. God is not a being. God is not a man. God is not a person. That's anthropomorphizing this infinite identity, this infinite beingness that is all things. If it is all things because it must be, because it's infinite, how can it judge itself? What would it compare itself to judge it? It can't. It can't. When Jesus said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do, he was really saying is, I'm only seeing one side, therefore forgiveness is necessary. But if you saw the total picture from the divine perspective, there's never forgiveness necessary in the divine, because the divine doesn't need to feel forgiveness. We in our humanness do. But if we learn how to speak responsibly, to speak authentically, to have a growing intent, and to do it with kindness, we never have to apologize, ever, because we're doing the very best we can. And why would we ever apologize for doing the very best we can? I can't imagine. I know that ruffles people the wrong way. People always come up to me, Lee, you need to apologize. People got to apologize. People got to apologize. I'm saying, well, that's just weak-minded people. And I know I'm pushing buttons. That's okay. I don't see any comments coming at me yet. Probably come when I'm not speaking. That's probably when they do show up. But here's the key thing. You are responsible for your experience, how you view life, how you act in life, how you think about life, how you feel about life. You are the master of your mind and your body. And the person next to you, they're the master of their mind and body. You are not the master of their mind and body. When we can get that and mind our own business, we're on the journey of becoming more aware. We're on the journey of becoming more loving. We're on the journey of connecting and loving all of life. So I invite you today, love yourself, love others, love life, and let life love you. Make it a great one, everyone. Aloha.